I believe in the supreme worth of the individual and his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I believe that every right implies a responsibility, every opportunity an obligation, every possession a duty. I believe that the law was made for man and not man for the law, that government is the servant of the people and not their master. I believe in the dignity of labor, whether with head or hand, that the world owes no man a living, but that it owes every man an opportunity to make a living. John D. Rockafeller, Jr. Now, Ashton Kutcher, nobody said Ashton Kutcher is today's modern-day John D. Rockafeller, but I can't help but notice some similarities. By the way, you're listening to Alaska Matters Radio. I'm Christopher Story, your host for Great Adventures in the Last Frontier. David Webb is your engineer and producer back up at the mothership of KPEN FM 102. We are riding right on top of the wireless airwaves of Horizon Satellite, Horizon Wireless. I want to say thank you right off the top of the program. Excellent company. 10 years and 10 towers later, they're serving your wireless needs. Dish Network, DirecTV, call them 226-3130, Horizon Satellite, Horizon Wireless. Ashton Kutcher is so much John D. Rockafeller in this speech.
There were some really amazing things that I learned when I was Chris. And I wanted to share those things with you guys because I think it's helped me be here today. When I was 13, I had my first job with my dad carrying shingles up to the roof. And then I got a job washing dishes at a restaurant. And then I got a job in a grocery store deli. And then I got a job in a factory sweeping Cheerio dust off the ground. And I've never had a job in my life that I was better than. I was always just lucky to have a job. And every job I had was a stepping stone to my next job. And I never quit my job until I had my next job. And so opportunities look a lot like work.
There you have it. That's Ashton Kutcher. Good guy, actually. You know, I think I already told you this, but every time I can drop a name or some sort of association that implies that I'm connected or better connected or well connected, whatever, I'll do it. And so Ashton Kutcher came out to a restaurant on the Spit where my daughter was working last year, Captain Patty's. And Ashton Kutcher, I think it was last year. Yeah. Anyway, was a decent, really nice guy. He waited. See, what happened is my daughter's hostess, and so her and a buddy said, "Oh, would you mind taking a picture with us?" And he said, "Sure, no problem." I imagine he suffers this constantly everywhere he goes, as happens to me. And so he says, "Sure, no problem." He takes a picture with the one girl, and then a couple came in to be seated. Zoe has to go and seat them, missing her opportunity to get a picture with Ashton Kutcher. When she comes back from seating them and handing the menus and so forth, he is still waiting by the door. He hasn't left. He's waiting, puts his arm around her. They take the picture. That's a class act. That's a good guy. You're listening to Alaska Matters Radio. On the program today, Blackwater Bend Espresso, your Alaskan mind bender. It sort of has to do with Don Young and sort of doesn't. But either way, I think you're going to enjoy this Alaskan Mindbender brought to you by Blackwater Bend Espresso. I want two of you to go out to Blackwater Bend for free. Coffee cards await you. Be sure to play the game later in the program. Your word of the day brought to you by TBC Radio. That's coming up. Also, we've got Today in History. And Don Young, speaking of Don Young, I've got a letter to the editor of the Alaska Dispatch I want to read and then play some audio because he kind of asks, what is Young's purpose? That's the title of this letter. What is Young's purpose? Well, I'm going to demonstrate Young's purpose here on the greatest show on earth. I'm Chris Story along with Dave Webb. Stick around. Much more to come on Alaska Matters Radio.